So back when I looked like this, I was desperate to find some answers. Answers to why I lost all of my control in my life. I felt like I had none, and how I could gain that control back to start living the life that I wanted. I was looking for answers on how to lose the weight, how to stop being so fucking fat and lazy, how to stop being so anxious, how to get out of my own head, how to stop overthinking, how to stop dealing with depression, all of these things that I was dealing with. You know, a lot of times I refer to myself as back when I looked like this, and you think that, oh, I was just overweight and I didn't want to be overweight anymore. No, man, like that, the weight issue was probably the least of my concerns. It was this internal prison that I put myself into that I couldn't seem to get out of, this massive rut in my life. And I was looking for answers. And naturally, like most people do, they go to YouTube. They start reading articles. They watch video after video, read article after article, look into book after book, look into different people that could potentially have the answers that I'm looking for. And time again, I would find myself watching endless amounts of content only to be nowhere near closer to my goal that I wanted to fix my fucking life, right? And if I could give myself, my old self, one piece of advice to focus on this and embrace this part of your life, it would be exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this video. But before we get into the video, if you guys are interested in one-on-one coaching, working with me directly to speed this process up, get yourself in the best shape of your life physically and mentally, drop your habits, gain that control, exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video, then click the first link in the description, book a call with me, and we can talk about it. If you have more questions, then just click the link on the Instagram account and you can message me over there. But let's get into the video. So one piece of advice that I would give my old self to embrace this part of your life and stop running from it is to embrace those moments of solitude. Make solitude a massive part of your life. And I'm going to explain exactly why. There's two different kinds of solitude that you need to worry about. The first one is mental solitude, and then we'll cover the other one later. Mental solitude, what I think it is, or what it is to me, is removing so many inputs that you have in your life. So an input, like an external input, is watching videos, podcasts, audiobooks, Instagram, TikTok, social media, all of these things, right, that are constantly being fed into your mind. What ends up happening when you have so many external inputs, all of these voices are so loud because you're always listening to them. You always have something going on. There's always something. You always have a headphone in. You always have something playing in the background. So what ends up happening is that these voices are so loud in your head because you're always listening to them, that your own voice, your internal voice, begins to get weaker and weaker, right? So you start losing the ability to form beliefs and principles that you stand on, right? What you truly believe and how you live your life. Because all of the voices of everyone else and everyone else's opinions are so loud in your head because that is what's coming in more often than not. I used to be so bad at this that I would have the TV on even if I wasn't watching it just to have some noise. And I used to tell myself, man, I just lived in a noisy house, so when it's too quiet, I don't like it. But it wasn't that at all. It was that I was always running from those moments of solitude. Because in those moments of solitude, that is when that anxiety creeps in. That is when the overthinking creeps in. That is when you start getting worried about the future. What if this doesn't work out? What if this? What if that? You start having a lot of self-doubt. You start having a lot of fear about the future. You start having all of these worries and your anxiety creeps up. You start making up these scenarios that, what if this happens, right? You start stressing about it. Or you start dwelling on the past. All the stupid shit you did in the past. And, oh my God, I'm so dumb for doing this and that. And whatever it is for you, you start getting stressed out by all of these things. So what most people do is that they will try to avoid any moments of silence, any moment of solitude. They run from it. They run from it and they start looking for answers from somebody else. They start looking for answers from a YouTube video or from reading something or from a book or something, like anything. They're just looking for inputs. They're looking for somebody to come and solve their problems. But the thing is that they're running away from the source that has all of the solutions that you're looking for, which is yourself. In that pain, I talk about this with my clients. You have to embrace these moments of solitude. You have to endure and embrace the pain that you will have to deal with when it comes to getting your answers, right? That's what I mean by getting your answers, is getting your answers to the things that you deal with, the problems that you deal with in your life. You have to get those answers. And those answers are found in the solitude. So by embracing the pain that you're going to go through, you will start to dissect why you have so many issues, or why you're dealing with this thing. But when I talk about mental solitude, that's what I'm talking about. And audiobooks and podcasts, it's not that they're bad. It's not that they don't have any value. They have significantly more value than just watching TV, than just being on social media countless hours. Solid videos, solid audiobooks, solid podcasts, they're great. They're going to give you a lot of information that you can then digest. But the problem is you never give yourself time to digest them. You never give yourself time to internalize any single concept that you just heard, because you're going from one video to the next video, one book to the next book. You're going from podcast to the next podcast. So you never have time to internalize, dissect, and apply those concepts to your life. So these videos, I get people that say, man, I've just been binge watching all your content. I fucking love that, right? I love that you guys like these videos. You guys are resonating with these messages. But if you want to get the most out of the video, watch one video, process it for the whole day or a couple of days, then watch the next video. Because if not, you're going to run into that same cycle where you're getting so many voices in your head, so many inputs, so many ideas, so many beliefs from so many different people, that you start diminishing your voice and you don't let that voice develop. There's too much stimulation going on, even if it's positive stimulation. So if you want to get the most out of a book, don't read 100 books back to back to back. Read one book 100 times and just really internalize those concepts. See if they apply to you. Do you agree with them or do you not? Can you debate this idea, right? Do you hold this idea very strongly or not? And this will help you immensely, because you're going to realize that through embracing that mental solitude, these external inputs, you're going to start developing your own ideas, your own beliefs, your core values that you can stand on. Now that's mental solitude. You can still be around people. You can still be doing that stuff, right? Now, I think that you also need to embrace moments of physical solitude combined with that mental solitude. I get these moments on my runs. I meditate every day. But also if I have like a long drive, or if I'm walking somewhere, whatever it may be, I will purposely not listen to anything. No music, no audiobooks, no nothing, right? But I'm also not around people. Mental solitude, I'm still around my family. I'm still around everyone. I'm just using my phone less. I'm not watching any videos. I'm embracing the people that I'm with, but I'm not allowing myself to have more external stimulation. With physical solitude, it's those moments like I just described. You're going for a run, maybe you're working out, maybe you meditate, maybe you have a long drive, right? So like for this morning, I woke up early, I had a long drive, I had like a 2-hour drive, no music, no nothing. I'm just finding my answers, processing what's going on. And it's not like you're processing every part of your life, but if there's something that you were dealing with, let's say, for example, you're dealing with something yesterday, you kept fixating on this thing, or you were anxious about the situation, or you had these negative thoughts, or you felt lazy, or you gave into some negative habits. Why? Ask yourself that question. Why? Why did I feel the need to do that? Why did I have this urge to go binge eat? Why did I have this urge to go drink? Why did I have this urge to do this or that? That word why can be very, very detrimental or very, very beneficial if used correctly. If you're using the word why in such a negative way, like, oh, why me? Why this? Why that? Why can't I catch a fucking break? You're going to destroy yourself. You're just you're digging yourself deeper and deeper into this hole, and you're treating yourself as a victim. Never use the question why in such a manner that's negative. But if you use that word why to find those answers, like I said, it is incredibly beneficial. Why did I feel that way yesterday? Why did I feel this anxiety creeping in? Why was I fixating on this thought? Why was I lazy? Why this? Why that? Right? You start dissecting that issue. And once you start dissecting that issue over time, really mulling over these ideas, you start to find your answers. And you can do this with anything. You hear something, you read something, right? Exactly what I just talked about. You read it, you digest it, and you start asking yourself, why is this true? Why do I believe this? You just start becoming more aware. It helps you with so many things. But the answers that you're looking for are in that solitude. They're in that pain, because it's going to be very uncomfortable in the beginning. In the beginning, it's probably the most uncomfortable when you start dissecting, why am I dealing with this? Why do I have this negative habit that I just can't seem to fucking get rid of, no matter how hard I try? Why do I feel the need to watch video after video all the time for countless hours. Why do I feel the need to do all of these different things? And you start dissecting those things. And like I said, over time, you get your answers. So if I could give my old self one piece of advice, is to embrace those moments of solitude. Welcome them and make them a part of your life. And regardless of how uncomfortable it will be, because it will be very uncomfortable, realize that the only way to get where you want to go is to face who you really are. Because that's what it is. We're trying to run away from who we really are. But once you face that person, you see them at face value. These are your habits. These are your strengths. This is the issues that you need to get rid of because they're holding you back. Once you are honest with yourself completely about where you are, who you are, the direction that your life will go if you continue to do these things. Once you're honest about those things, you can make a change. Because if you have no honesty there, you just lie to yourself time and time again, you're never going to make that change because in your mind, there is no problem. Because we're not aware enough to realize what the problem is. Most of your growth in this life will happen as soon as you get out of your own way.